In 2025, airlines aren't playing around. One mistake can get you banned. So here are 25 real reasons travelers are being denied flights and exactly how you can avoid joining them. 25. Oversized carry-on drama. Airlines used to be flexible if your carry-on was a little too stuffed. Not anymore. In 2025, airline staff now use rigid measurement frames at boarding gates, and there's no mercy if your bag doesn't fit cleanly. The wheels sticking out? That counts. The backpack bulging because of snacks? Also counts. If you're stopped and asked to check it, refusing could mean you won't be allowed on the plane at all. Some travelers try to argue or explain why their items are too fragile to go below, but that rarely ends well. Gate agents are trained to follow policies, not negotiate exceptions. So if your bag is too big, you'll either check it or get left behind. Don't wait until boarding to test your luck. Measure your carry-on before you leave home and compare it with your airline's rules. It's a simple step that could save you a huge headache. Number 24. Refusing to check your bag. Let's say your carry-on is slightly above the limit or the flight is full. The airline might ask you to check your bag at the gate. Sounds minor, right? But here's the twist. If you refuse, especially in a confrontational way, you could be denied boarding. And it doesn't matter why you're refusing. Maybe your bag holds expensive equipment, breakable souvenirs, or personal medicine. If the staff says it needs to go below, it's not a suggestion. There have been real cases where passengers missed their flight simply because they insisted on keeping their bag on board. It's not about the bag, it's about the rule. Trying to negotiate last minute rarely works. If you know you're traveling with sensitive items, consider checking one bag in advance and keeping essentials in a small personal item. It's better than getting stopped right before stepping on the plane. Number 23. Opting out of facial recognition. Facial recognition is no longer futuristic, it's boarding reality in many airports around the world. For international flights especially, cameras now scan your face to verify your identity faster than a passport swipe. But if you try to skip this and ask for a manual check, things can get complicated. Some airports still allow opting out, but that choice comes with delays, extra screening, and sometimes denied access to the gate. For non-citizens or visa holders, opting out might not be an option at all. There have even been reports of travelers missing flights simply because they refused the scan and didn't have time for the backup process. If you're uncomfortable with facial recognition, plan ahead. Research your airport's policies, arrive extra early, and prepare for a slower process. But understand this, at some gates, no face scan means no boarding. Number 22. Glitched or incomplete booking. You found a deal online and got that confirmation email, so you're all set, right? Not necessarily. In 2025, booking systems are faster but also messier, especially when you use third-party travel sites. A simple payment glitch, a failed transfer between systems, or booking two separate one-way tickets across different carriers could leave you with no seat. Some passengers only find out at check-in or at the boarding gate that their ticket was never actually confirmed. Worse still, the airline may not be able to fix it on the spot. To protect yourself, always double-check your booking directly on the airline's app or website at least 48 hours before your flight. Take screenshots of your ticket and payment. If anything looks off, call customer support before you go, because the worst time to learn there's a glitch is while everyone else is already boarding. Number 21. You're secretly on a no-fly list. It sounds dramatic, but it's happening more than you'd think. People show up for their flight with zero issues until a staff member quietly pulls them aside. Turns out their name flagged something in the system. Maybe it matched someone under investigation, or maybe a past incident led to a restriction being added to their record. Whatever the case, being placed on a no-fly list, accidentally or not, means you're grounded. There have been cases where people were flagged for something as small as a past argument with a flight crew or a name mix-up with someone else in another country. And getting off the list can take weeks. If you've had issues during past flights, it's smart to check in advance with your airline. You won't always get answers, but it's better than being blindsided when it's too late. Number 20. No real ID. In the United States, 2025 is the year real ID actually fully kicks in. That means your regular driver's license or state ID won't get you past security unless it has the gold star indicating real ID compliance. Many people still don't realize this and show up with outdated IDs, only to be turned away at TSA. And yes, this applies even for domestic flights. If your state-issued ID doesn't qualify, your only alternative might be a valid passport or another federally accepted document. It's a rule that's been coming for years, but now enforcement is strict, and agents won't make exceptions. Before your next trip, look closely at your ID. If you don't see that star, it's time to upgrade or carry your passport. Don't assume you'll be fine just because it worked in the past. That was then. This is now. Number 19. Damaged passport issues. Your passport doesn't need to be torn in half to cause problems. In 2025, even minor damage like water stains, fading, or a bent cover can raise red flags for airline staff and immigration officers. Some countries require your passport to be machine readable. If the embedded chip fails or the page details are unclear, it might be treated as tampered. Even tiny marks like a loose binding or a smudged photo can result in you being pulled aside and denied boarding. Remember, airlines don't want the risk of flying someone who might be rejected at the next border. To stay safe, inspect your passport well ahead of any trip. If there's anything questionable, replace it early. Many embassies offer expedited services. Don't leave it up to chance on departure day. A small tear could cancel your entire trip. Number 18. You missed the gate closing. Here's a big one. Many travelers think if they're in the airport before departure time, they're good to go, but that's not how boarding works. Airlines usually close the gate 15 minutes before takeoff, and some do it even earlier. If you're not physically at the gate when the door is shut, you're not getting on. It doesn't matter if you're 10 feet away or jogging down the terminal. Once the door is sealed, it's sealed. Staff can't open it again for you, even if they wanted to. The flight crew has final say, so how do you avoid this? Watch the boarding time, not just the departure time on your ticket. Give yourself buffer time for security, bathroom breaks, and those surprisingly long airport walks. Once you're through security, head straight to your gate before doing anything else. Missing the gate is not like missing a bus, it's a non-refundable mistake. Number 17. Name doesn't match your ID. One tiny typo can block your entire trip. In today's strict security climate, the name on your ticket must match your government-issued ID exactly, letter for letter. That means no nicknames, no abbreviations, and no clever booking jokes. Something as small as Alex instead of Alexander can throw up a red flag. Gate agents aren't allowed to just let it slide. They're required to follow airline and TSA rules to the letter. If your names don't match, you might need to rebook or pay for a name correction, which can be expensive or not even possible if you're too close to takeoff. Always review your details as soon as you book. If you spot a mistake, contact the airline immediately. It's a lot easier to fix it days before your flight than to argue your case at the gate. Number 16. You're not on the passenger list. You've checked in, scanned your boarding pass, and even found your gate, but suddenly you're told you're not on the list. Confused? You're not alone. Sometimes booking systems glitch. A failed payment, a third-party error, or a last-minute airline switch can cause your reservation to vanish from the official manifest. Even if you have a confirmation email, that doesn't guarantee your seat if your name isn't in the system. And if you didn't book directly with the airline, their support staff might not be able to help quickly. That kind of error can lead to long delays or missing your flight completely. To avoid this stress, always verify your booking 24 to 48 hours before departure, using the airline's official app or website. If your name, flight number, or payment info looks off, fix it immediately. Don't rely on email receipts or screenshots. A few minutes of double checking could save you from being told, sorry, you're not flying today. Number 15. Too many bags at the gate. You passed check-in, made it through security, and now you're at the gate. But suddenly you're told you can't board because of your baggage. In 2025, stricter enforcement of one personal item, one carry-on rules is catching travelers off guard. Airlines are no longer letting it slide if you show up with multiple shopping bags, souvenirs, or an extra backpack from duty-free. Even items bought after security must fit within your carry-on allowance. Some airports now use AI-powered boarding scans that flag passengers with too many visible items before they even reach the plane. If your hands are full, gate agents can stop you and force you to check one or more bags. If you refuse, you could miss the flight. To stay safe, pack light, combine smaller items into one bag, and avoid overstuffing your personal item. What seems like a harmless extra tote could be the reason you're not getting on the plane. Number 14. Missing travel documents. Flying internationally? Then your passport isn't the only thing you need. Depending on your destination, you might also need a visa, proof of vaccination, a transit clearance, or digital approval like ETIAS for Europe. In 2025, more countries have tightened their entry rules, and airlines are expecting to enforce them before you even board. If you're missing just one required document, the airline can and will stop you at the gate. Why? Because if they let you fly without proper paperwork, they're the ones fined or forced to fly you back. Even for short layovers, countries may require transit visas, so always check every leg of your trip, not just the final stop. Use official embassy websites to research entry requirements and print physical copies of everything. Also, double-check expiration dates. A document that expires the day after you land might still be rejected. One missing page or skipped vaccine proof could cancel your entire trip. Number 13. Repeated rudeness to airline staff. Yes, this deserves its own section. Airline staff don't just deal with your ticket, they assess your behavior. And if you've previously been flagged for being rude, difficult, or aggressive, that note could still be in the system. Repeat offenses aren't forgotten. Gate agents and crew members often share internal reports, especially for passengers they consider high risk. So even if today you're being polite, your past behavior could still catch up with you. There have been reports of passengers being denied boarding based on previous incidents months prior. It's not about punishing you, it's about keeping flights safe and stress-free. If you've ever had a tense moment with airline staff before, it's smart to reach out and make sure there are no outstanding issues tied to your name. Travel has become more behavior sensitive than ever, and airlines aren't taking chances. Your best shot at a smooth experience? Stay respectful and don't give them a reason to doubt you. Number 12. Bumped from an overbooked flight. You did everything right, checked in early, arrived on time, stood in line, but suddenly, you're told there's no seat for you. Why? The airline overbooked the flight. It happens more often than you think. Airlines oversell tickets expecting some people to cancel or not show up, but when everyone arrives, someone has to be left behind. Usually, they ask for volunteers and offer perks like travel credit or upgrades. If no one accepts, they start removing passengers, often based on check-in time, fare type, or frequent flyer status. And if you're randomly chosen, you have almost no say. To lower your chances of being bumped, check in as early as possible and avoid basic economy tickets. Signing up for the airline's loyalty program, even for free, can also help. It's frustrating to be left behind when you did nothing wrong, but unfortunately, in 2025, it's still happening. Be prepared and know your rights. Number 11. No travel insurance. Travel insurance used to be optional, not anymore. Many countries now require proof of travel insurance before boarding, especially destinations that involve outdoor adventures, long stays, or potential health risks. In places like Thailand or the UAE, you might even be asked for it during check-in. Some airlines request it for certain long-haul routes, especially if they've had past issues with uninsured travelers. And if you can't show proof, usually a PDF with coverage details, you could be stopped. Even when not required, travel insurance is smart. It covers canceled flights, lost bags, medical emergencies, and even unexpected hotel stays. A policy can cost less than a dinner, but skipping it could cost your whole trip. Keep both a printed copy and a digital backup, and make sure it includes coverage for medical emergencies and trip interruptions. It's not just peace of mind anymore, it might be your boarding pass. Number 10. Undisclosed medical conditions. If you've got a serious medical issue like epilepsy, heart conditions, or a recent surgery, you might need to tell the airline before you fly. Why? Because if something goes wrong mid-air, the crew needs to know how to help. And if they weren't informed, they might argue they can't safely accommodate you and deny you boarding. Some medical conditions also require paperwork, like oxygen approval or mobility support forms. Airlines don't want to be caught off guard, especially on long flights where immediate medical help isn't available. If you take medication or need special equipment, call the airline ahead of time and check if any forms are needed. It's not about excluding you, it's about keeping everyone safe. If you show up at the gate and suddenly request medical help, they may have to say no just to protect the flight. Planning ahead means you don't have to fight that battle later. Number 9. You smell too much. It's not something most people think about, but your scent can actually get you kicked off a flight. Strong body odor, overpowering perfume, or even the smell of cigarette smoke on your clothes can trigger complaints from other passengers or raise concerns with the crew. Airlines aren't being dramatic, they're trying to prevent discomfort or even allergic reactions on board. In a sealed cabin with recycled air, smells travel fast and stay long. If someone complains, the flight crew might quietly ask you to freshen up, but in some cases, they'll deny boarding altogether. The policy is based on protecting the comfort and health of others, and yes, it's completely legal. So before you leave for the airport, skip the heavy cologne, strong essential oils, or that smoke break. Go for a clean, neutral scent. It might feel unfair, but one sniff too strong could mean no flight, and no refund. Number 8. Expired or invalid health docs. Travel in 2025 still requires documentation for certain destinations, especially in Europe and Asia. This includes ETIAS authorizations, vaccine proof, or health declarations. If any document is outdated, incomplete, or mismatched with your ID, you may not board. These rules apply even for layovers. Travelers have been denied boarding at departure gates because their ETIAS expired a week earlier, or because a digital certificate wasn't uploaded in time. Don't assume last year's rules still apply. Check for country-specific health or visa requirements and make sure your documents are synced, saved, and printed. Better safe than grounded. Number 7. Booking under a nickname or joke name. It sounds funny until you're stuck at the gate. Booking a flight under a nickname, or worse, a joke name like Batman or Queen Bey, can completely derail your trip. Your boarding pass must exactly match the name on your legal ID. Airlines don't have to let you correct this at the airport. In 2025, systems have become stricter and less flexible. If your travel buddy thought it'd be hilarious to use a nickname for fun, it's not. Always enter your full legal name, even when booking for someone else. Laugh later, fly first. Number 6. Visa or transit paperwork missing. Some countries require a transit visa, even if you're just passing through the airport. Others require e-visas or arrival authorizations uploaded online before check-in. If one piece is missing, even during a layover, you might be denied at your departure gate. In 2025, there's less forgiveness for overlooked travel paperwork. Airline staff are responsible for ensuring you're eligible to enter every stop. Miss a single detail and they'll say no. Check every country's rules, including connection points. Use official embassy websites for info, not random blogs. Print, upload, and triple check before heading out. One forgotten PDF can stop the whole trip. Number 5. Booking 2 one-way flights on different carriers. You found a cheaper deal by booking 2 separate one-way tickets on different airlines. Sounds smart, until there's a delay. If your first flight runs late and you miss the second airline isn't responsible. Worse, some carriers see disjointed bookings as suspicious and might flag you. In 2025, more passengers are reporting missed connections and denial of boarding due to split bookings. Unless you leave plenty of buffer time and confirm baggage transfer, you're on your own. Try to book multi-leg trips with one airline or alliance to stay protected. Cheaper isn't always safer. Number 4. Non-compliant behavior detected by AI. Some airports now use AI to flag travelers based on facial expressions, gait, or behavior. If the system senses erratic movements, stress, or hesitation, it could silently alert staff. In 2025, a few passengers have reported being pulled aside and questioned without explanation. It's not always fair, but it's happening. Don't loiter, don't wander back and forth nervously, and avoid rushing unless necessary. Move with calm, clear purpose. Be polite and alert. Surveillance systems are smarter now, and your body language could be more telling than your boarding pass. Number 3. Wrong country-specific requirements. One visa for one country doesn't mean you're covered everywhere. In 2025, countries are cracking down on entry rules, including proof of onward travel, hotel bookings, and minimum bank balances. Travelers arriving with incomplete documentation, even if it wasn't listed clearly online, have been turned away at departure gates. This includes students, digital nomads, and even vacationers. Some airlines won't let you board unless you show these documents first. Always research entry rules directly from official government sources. Double-check embassy updates, and screenshot or print every requirement, because the airline will ask for it before your passport even gets stamped. Number 2. Denied entry in a prior country. If you've ever been denied entry, deported, or overstayed a visa in the past, that record can follow you. In 2025, airlines and border control systems are more connected than ever. Even a minor infraction years ago can flag you for extra screening or prevent boarding altogether. Some travelers found out the hard way when their boarding was blocked due to a forgotten immigration issue from a previous trip. If you've had trouble with customs or overstays, consult a travel lawyer or contact your destination's consulate before booking. You don't want to be surprised at the gate. Number 1. Falsifying info or being caught in a lie. You told the check-in agent your trip is for vacation, but your documents say something else. Or you tried to hide that you were recently in a restricted country. In 2025, false info can get flagged fast, especially with new document sharing between agencies. One inconsistency is all it takes to shut down your travel. Whether it's your reason for travel, your destination, or your paperwork, don't fudge the truth. The system will catch it, and once flagged, you could face bans or even legal action. Always be honest, clear, and consistent. The truth really does help you fly. So, which of these 25 travel mistakes surprised you the most? The truth is, flights in 2025 are more complicated than ever. But with the right preparation, you can breeze through the airport like a pro. Don't let a simple oversight ruin your trip. Check your documents, stay updated, and always be kind to the people behind the desk. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more insider travel tips, and share your own airport experiences in the comments. Safe travels, and may your boarding pass never get rejected.